Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am Haiza Yusuf, lecturer at Department of Physiotherapy, Faculty of Life Health Sciences, University of South Asia. I am your course instructor for the course of kinesiology. In today's lecture, we will be discussing about posture. What is posture? How posture is defined, and what are different types of posture, and to which posture we call them good posture or bad posture. After today's lecture, you will be able to understand the key terms related to body posture. You will be able to differentiate between good and poor posture. It will help to identify or examine any abnormality in posture, and you will also learn the concept of re-education for correction of posture and its significance. Now, what is posture? Posture is the attitude as assumed by the body, either with the support during muscular inactivity or by coordinated action of group of muscles. As posture is an essential basis for movement to maintain stability. So there are different types of posture. One is inactive and the second one is active. Active posture is further divided into static posture and dynamic posture. Inactive posture. These are attitudes adopted for resting or sleeping. During inactive posture, muscular activity is reduced to minimum. Muscles works only to maintain essential body functions like respiration, circulation, etc. These inactive posture are used for training of general relaxation. Active posture. In active posture with integrated action of many muscles, it is further divided into static and dynamic posture. Static posture. Static posture is the maintenance of constant posture by interaction of many muscles working statically or isometrically. Muscles work to stabilize the joint and counteract the force of gravity or any other opposing force to maintain that specific position. Mostly preserve the state of equilibrium during static posture. For example, the static standing and static sitting. Active posture. In active posture, the dynamic posture are required to make efficient basis for movement. This pattern of posture is constantly modified and adjusted according to circumstances or demands imposed on them. For example, walking, running, playing, etc. Now, here we will discuss about postural mechanism. What is postural mechanism? It is platform which is used to develop posture. It has different components, muscles and nervous control. Muscles include specifically anti-gravity muscles, while nervous control includes muscles, eyes, ears, joint structures and skin, etc. Now, we will go through one by one from different components of postural mechanism. Number one is the muscles which include anti-gravity muscles. The muscles. Intensity and distribution of muscles work varies according to pattern of posture and individual characteristics. Muscle group which is mostly employed is the group of muscles used in erect standing position after counteract the effect of gravity, which are called anti-gravity muscles. The action of anti-gravity muscles with regard to joints usually that of extension. Now, what are the structural characteristics of anti-gravity muscle? These characteristics enable them to perform their function with efficiency and minimum effort. The form of muscles should be multipennate and fan-shaped, as it will help to produce powerful action of muscles. The fibers of anti-gravity muscles should be red fibers, due to which they have capability of sustained contraction, which enables to work without fatigue because they have low metabolic rate in red fibers. Nervous control of posture, the second component of postural mechanism. Postures are maintained or adapted as a result of neuromuscular coordination. Now, here is the question, what is neuromuscular coordination? In simple words, as the name represents, it has two parts, neuro and muscular. Neuro relates to nerves, while muscular relates to muscles, which means the appropriate muscle being innervated by means of a complex reflex mechanism with the help of nerves. Now, what is postural reflexes? The reflex is defined by efferent response, which is also called motor response to an efferent stimulus, which is sensory information. Efferent responses are the motor responses executed by anti-gravity muscles, and anti-gravity muscles are considered as effector organ. In the coming slides, you will know about effector system, effector organ, central system, and receiving receptor system. In the coming slide, there is a picture which represents these parts. Efferent stimulus are a variety of sources all over the body. Most importantly, in muscles, eye and ears, receptors are present. Now, the components of postural reflex. In this picture, the components of postural reflex are represented as the receptor organs include eye, ear, muscles, joint, from where the information is sent to the central system like cerebral cortex, cerebellum, vestibular nucleus, where our information is being processed. Then after information is being processed, it will be sent to the effector organs to respond, when the effector organs are considered as muscles. Now, we will learn about the components of a neuromuscular system. Number one is the muscles. Neuromuscular and neurotendinous, the nerves which innervate muscles and the nerves which also innervate tendons. Within the muscle record changing tension. Increased tension causes stimulation. Results in reflex contraction of muscle, so appears to be a manifestation of myotatic or stretch reflex. So in postural reflexes, the muscles execute myotatic or stretch reflex. Here comes the question, what is myotatic reflexes or stretch reflexes? These both are the same reflexes and used as synonymous. Myotatic reflexes are stretch reflexes that cause involuntary muscle contraction after muscle is being stretched. These are local reflex arcs that are used for body posture and movement and do not rely on cerebral input for function. Example, patellar tendon reflex. At rest, the stretch reflex can be obtained by a quick stretch, such as by tapping on a muscle tendon. In this diagram, you can see the green wire represents the sensory neuron, which tells about what your muscle feels. Motor neurons make the muscles contract. When there is a tap on the tendon, it causes the muscle to stretch. As a result, the muscle contract. So, after stretch, the muscles contract represents the myotatic or stretch reflex. Now, the second component of neuromuscular coordination is the eyes. Eyes contribute in visual sensation. It records any alteration in position of body with regard to its surrounding. Eyes serve as the receptors for writing reflex, just like muscles serves as the receptors for myotatic or static reflex. Now, what is writing reflex? In writing reflex, visual stimuli that enables to maintain the correct position of the head in space by bringing about movement of muscles of the neck and limbs. The ears. Stimulation of receptors of vestibular nerve results from movement of fluid in semicircular canals of the internal ear. Each canal lies at different plane and at right angle to each other's. Movement of head disturbs the fluid within the semicircular canals, and knowledge of movement and direction in which that movement takes place are recorded. In this slide, you can see the pictures of semicircular canals which is placed within the internal ear joint structure. In weight-bearing position, approximation of bones occur at joint level. Thus, this joint compression causes stimulation of receptors in joint structure and elicit reflex reaction to maintain the position. In this regard, skin sensation also play very important role, especially soles of feet when body is in standing position. Impulses from all these receptors are conveyed and coordinated in CNS. All these receptors from the eyes, from the muscles, from the ears, from your skin towards the central nervous system, and in the parts of central nervous system in which these information will be sent as the cerebral cortex, cerebellum, red nucleus or vestibular nucleus.